Some life experiences are designed to help you become smarter, and some others, well, they do the exact opposite. They make you dumber. But what if you don't know what these experiences are? Well, don't worry, my friend. We're here to fix that. Here are 15 experiences that will make you dumber, so let's just get right to it, shall we? Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Number 1. Doing the same thing over and over. Doing the same thing over and over again isn't going to bring you different results. Instead, you'll get the same result over and over again. So, doing this naturally prevents you from becoming innovative. But this isn't all. We understand that your job might require you to repeat the same things over and over again, but have you ever considered doing the same thing in a different way? This'll teach you to become more creative with a rigid process, which in turn increases your level of intelligence. However, if you decide to stick with the mundane process of repeating the same things, you're inadvertently stunting your smarts. Number 2. Always taking the easy way out. Look, we understand why anyone would want to take the easy way. Not only does it mean you'd have to do less work, it also means you would spend less time doing the work. Sounds great, right? Well, taking the easy way out once or twice might not be much of a problem, but when it's all you do, imperative of the other options available to you, well, you've got a problem. Always taking the easy way out suggests you would hardly come across challenges, and a lack of challenges further suggests you won't learn anything new from the experience. A difficult way out isn't going to stop you from completing your task. It's an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to eventually become better at what you do. Number 3. Multitasking. Multitasking makes you feel like you're doing so much at the same time, right? When we multitask, we can't help but think of how much time we're saving. But bad news for you. Multitasking is in fact doing more harm than good. Research from 2009 showed that multitaskers find it very difficult to pay attention. It rewires your brain in a way that makes you less productive. So what does this mean for you in the long run? Well, multitasking over a long period of time will eventually lead to a decrease in your intelligence as your brain becomes less effective over time. Number 4. Having a fixed mindset. It's important to have strict values and a mindset that you live by, but you must also understand that it's perfectly okay for this mindset to change. When you discover something new about yourself, you can adjust your mindset to fit this new discovery. However, if you decide that your current mindset is the perfect one for you, you'll feel there's no reason to be flexible, and you're doing yourself a huge disservice with this. Usually people with fixed mindsets find it very difficult to deal with failure. They see failure as an attack on their intellectual capacity, not as an opportunity to grow. So rather than challenge this failure, they avoid situations where they might fail altogether. A flexible growth mindset means you can make vital changes when necessary and learn new things along the way. Number 5. Thinking you know everything. Fun fact, nobody knows everything no matter how intelligent they might be. It's technically impossible to know everything there is to know about everything. But not knowing everything isn't really a problem. We just need to know enough in our chosen fields, right? When you start to believe that you know everything, you're basically saying you don't need to learn anything new. And with this mindset, you're bound to become dumber in no time. Instead, approach every situation kind of like a child who knows nothing, and you'll discover new and interesting things every time. Number 6. Not showing up when it matters. Would you show up when things get difficult or not? Your answer to this question will determine whether you become a smarter person or not. When you show up during difficult situations, you are putting yourself in new and awkward situations, and this immediately puts your brain into overdrive. Your brain starts to think of innovative ways to remove you from this difficult situation, and this factor gradually helps you become smarter. However, when you fail to show up, you rid yourself of this chance to learn. And if it happens that you always run away when it really matters, it's only a matter of time before it starts to affect your level of intelligence, not to mention your relationships. Number 7, staying up late. There's really no other way to say this, but staying up late is no longer cool, and it doesn't do anything but affect your body in a number of negative ways. Researchers have recommended 6 to 9 hours of sleep for us, and anything less than 6 hours will affect your thinking skills. Have you ever noticed how slow you feel after sleeping for only 4 hours at night? That's exactly how your thinking will become if it continues for an extended period of time. Number 8, never saying no. Just like a lack of sleep, constant stress can have immense negative effects on the human brain. And what could lead to stress? The urge to always say yes. If you're the sort of person who doesn't know how to decline certain tasks, it wouldn't be surprising to always feel stressed. Eventually, you won't have time for yourself, your goals, or your growth, and this could impact your intelligence in plenty of negative ways. Next time your boss or someone gives you a task that obviously isn't yours, be bold enough to say no. You aren't just saving yourself from stress, but also preventing yourself from becoming burnt out and preserving your intelligence. Number 9, being the smartest in your group. We know what's on your mind. How can being the smartest in my group make me dumb? Well, as usual, let us explain. Let's start off with understanding what being the smartest in your group means. Well, first of all, it suggests there's basically nothing you can learn from the people in this group. Secondly, it kind of suggests that you're friends with individuals who aren't particularly willing to improve themselves. Now, these two factors have a profound effect on your intelligence. Being in this group could cause you to have a perception that you really do know everything, when in fact, you still have so much to learn. Your social group directly influences your actions. So if your friends aren't willing to improve themselves, it's only a matter of time before you become just like them. If there's no growth, no thirst for knowledge, and no new experiences, well, you're unfortunately on your path to becoming dumber. Number 10, limiting your social circle. Having a small social circle suggests you interact with fewer people every day. But did you know that a constant conversation is like a workout for the brain? When you hold conversations with other people, your brain is ordering your thoughts and feelings, and then it converts these thoughts into words in a language. At the same time, your brain is making sense of the words and body movements of the person you're talking to. But when you rarely have conversations due to how small your social circle is, you're missing out on an exercise that could make you way smarter. Interestingly, a study from Oxford University showed that individuals with a larger social group use certain parts of their brain more frequently, which in turn causes their brain to step up to the challenge, hence making them smarter. So limiting your social circle doesn't just make you dumber, it increases your chances of developing dementia by 64%. Number 11, sticking to the same hobbies. Our brain is just like the muscles in our body. When you continually try new things, it becomes stronger. However, when you do the same thing over and over again, your brain starts to see this as a routine and doesn't put in the same amount of effort. Your hobbies are not set in stone. There's no rule that says they aren't allowed to change ever. In fact, if you want to become smarter, we advise you make changes to your hobbies regularly. You love singing? Well, how about delving into audio production? You can try new hobbies every single month and you'd be surprised at how impactful they'll be on your intelligence. Number 12, always fixating on negativity. When you're always complaining and whining about how much negativity you're surrounded by, well, you're actually making yourself a whole lot dumber. If you're the sort of person who complains about every single thing, your job, your house, your partner, your life in general, well, you're not doing yourself any good. In fact, you're putting yourself at the risk of physically damaging your brain. Really? Here's an interesting fact. In 1996, a Stanford study showed that complaining for 30 minutes without stopping can actually physically damage the brain. But you know what's worse? Being complained to for 30 minutes straight also puts you at the risk of brain damage. Now, is this enough to make you stop complaining all the time? We really hope so. Number 13. Dismissing other ideas as stupid. Your idea is great, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best one in every room. Great individuals are the ones who respect the ideas and values of others, even though they might not necessarily agree with them. Less great people, on the other hand, are pretty sure they've got the most intelligent idea in the entire world, so other ideas might as well just be labeled stupid. These folks aren't open to the possibility of better ideas because they're filled with the impression that no one can reach theirs, so why bother to listen? Like you already guessed, this will prevent the possibility of better ideas, and the dumb individual in question will definitely be on the road to becoming dumber. Number 14. Always blaming others. When something bad happens to you, is blaming other people or factors your instinctive response? Well, if you answered yes to this, you've got to do some work on yourself, my friend. Blaming others shows you're not ready to face whatever responsibility you have for your failure. Instead, you want to believe it's the fault of someone else, so there wouldn't be any need to work on yourself, right? However, on the flip side, taking responsibility for your mistake forces you to come to terms with what went wrong, and if it was your error, to make conscious efforts to prevent that from happening again. At this point, you would have learned something new. That is, you have become smarter than you were before. But if you decide to still point fingers rather than take responsibility for your action, well, you've succeeded in making yourself a little bit dumber by the day. Number 15. Always afraid of trying new things. If you're always afraid, you will never try, and if you don't try, you'll never know if you would fail or succeed at something. And come on, the fear of failure shouldn't be the reason why you never try new things. Failure is not the end, it is simply a part of the journey, arguably an important part of the journey. When you fail, you dust yourself back off and you get up and try again. To avoid becoming dumber, you have to accept that failure is a possible, even a likely outcome at least some of the time, and to go ahead and try it anyway, because otherwise, you'll never know, you'll never learn. And there you have it, Aluxer, 15 experiences that are bound to make you dumber. Did any of these experiences prick you out of guilt? Don't feel attacked, okay? It's simply a nudge to do better. And did you watch the video up until this point? Because if so, you've unlocked a bonus, number 16. Creating limitations. Sometimes limitations are necessary, but when you create false limitations toward your finance, skills, or capabilities, you're unconsciously selling yourself short. Dumb people become dumber when they attach limits to their abilities, meaning they are the ones stopping themselves from reaching their full potential. Does that sound like you? Then you've got to make a change right now, Aluxer. Thank you for watching this video, Aluxer. If you found it valuable, consider subscribing to our channel and joining our awesome community. And if you're still hungry for more, we handpicked this video for you to watch next, or head over to our website for more amazing content. See you tomorrow.